This is a Vision Commerce video discussing the process after you enter a sales order, what you have to do in order to proceed through the system. When you enter a sales order, you'll find that it should normally go to the allocation screen. However, you may find that order has been put on hold. If that's the case, you can simply click the Held Orders button. It will open the Held Orders window, and you can see there are a number of tabs along the top where you can see different reasons why orders are held. At any point, if you want to retrieve the account's data, you can do that by hitting the Get Accounts Data. What this will do is it will fill in the credit limit and balance, which can help you decide whether to release the order. To release an order, select the line, select the release selected. If you wanted to release everything, it is a release all. There's also a couple of options here where you can click on the View AC, which is a view the customer's account, or you can view the sales order. If you viewed the customer's account, you can go to the sales orders transactions and have a look at all the outstanding transactions on the customer's ledger at that time. The vast majority of orders don't get held in this. Therefore, you'll find them in the allocation screen. If you open the allocation icon, which is the next icon to the held orders, it will open with a window allowing you to select the warehouse that you want to dispatch stock from. So you can see here I've selected the warehouse trade, and it's brought up all the orders that are awaiting allocation. At this point on the system, if you look under the product window, you'll see that we have the sales order entered. Once I allocate from this point, it will then move to sales orders allocated. You can either select and allocate all, or you can do allocation of selected. In this example, I'm going to select one line and say allocate selected. And you notice that this line hasn't changed color at all. We'd normally expect it to change color if it can commit some of the order or it can commit all of the order. And in this one, nothing changed color. If I say on the second line, allocate selected, you'll see that one has gone to yellow. That means that part of the order is available and part of the order can be sent. And if I go to the third line here and say allocate selected in this one, you'll notice that this has gone to green. Green means that we can allocate the entire order and send the entire order. There are some options at the bottom of the screen on the right hand side where you can specify whether you want to send the greens, the yellows, or specific orders that you've selected. And at this point, it will allocate the order and then place the order in the queue waiting to be sent to the warehouse. So to show you an example of what I would do if I was normally using this screen, I'll close it again and reopen it. And I'll select the warehouse again. And once it's loaded everything, I will say allocate all. And it will go through every single order that's in the system and see whether or not it can commit the order. And you'll notice here, there's a number of different orders that can be committed, some that can't be committed, and some that it's just not possible to do anything with at all. There are additional options here, as you can see, where you can click on the basket, and that will show you the order information. So by clicking on the basket, it will open the sales order window. I'll just close that basket now. You can also use the magnifying glass, and this will show you the lines on the order and what the order can commit for those lines. Any lines which it cannot commit, it will show you and show you the quantities that it is able to commit to the order. So I'll just run this again, and then I'll just pick this one here. You can see here we have ordered 18, we have only 10 available that we can allocate to this order. You can allocate what's available and then just submit the order. The rest will go into back order, or you can hold off submitting the order completely and then hold on to it on the allocation screen. By default, this screen only shows you everything that's due to be released up to a week's time. Anything beyond that, it won't show on the window. If you're using the parcel carrier option, you can select any of the lines or all the lines, and at this point you can then ask the carrier for the updated parcel carrier numbers. System will automatically go away, get the numbers, bring them back, and then when we submit it to the warehouse, the numbers and all the information can be sent through automatically. One important button to note is this INV only. INV only will bypass the delivery requirement screen. What this will do is if you tick this box, it will automatically say this stock is allocated and it will be dispatched in full without question as per the allocation here. So if you're using a warehouse with rotations, be very careful with this, because if you allocate the wrong rotation and it dispatches it, you'll then have to start doing manual stock transfers to move everything back into the correct rotation number. So just be very, very careful with this. The only time I would say use this for a rotation warehouse is if the warehouse have dispatched a totally different item. You edit the sales order, put the new item on with the rotation number, and when you allocate that line number, you tick the box, and that new line number will join all the other lines in the invoice window. So just be very careful about using this. On this example here, I just want to commit all the green items. Committing all the green items will then move all of these into the allocation and move them to the next stage in the process, which is the sending to the warehouse. Once the allocation process is finished here, you can simply say OK, and we'll close the window and we'll go into the EDI API and into the submissions. And I will once again select the correct warehouse group, and it will show me a list of all the orders waiting to be submitted to the warehouse. If at any point you have an order here that you do not wish to submit to the warehouse, you can simply select that order and then say hide it. This will just mark it and hide it away from you here. It won't send it to the warehouse at all. So for the rest of it, if you want to select individually, you can select individually. You can select all using the select all button, and then you can generate the sales order XML to the warehouse. If you use this button here, the system will generate the sales order XML, submit it to the warehouse. It will then ask you a simple question at the end of it. Do you want to send any pre-advices and product codes at the same time? If you say yes, anything waiting in the pre-advice and product codes tabs will also be sent. If you generate all XML files in the bottom corner here, it completely ignores the selection, and every single item that's waiting to be sent will be sent. So there is no selection of the items if you use this generate all XML. Once you submitted the orders to the warehouse, you will get an acknowledgement back. So if I generate this one, you'll get an acknowledgement back from the warehouse end saying that the transmission has been delivered. This will be replaced at some point with an automated API response and the automatic sending. So that will be coming sometime in the next few months. And you'll see we've got the message here about sending the product codes to the warehouse. I'll just say yes to that, and that will then send the pre-advices and product codes to the warehouse. If at any time any questions about whether or not you sent something to the warehouse, you can simply go to the order submitted option, put in the sales order number, and it will display the sales order number on the right hand side, and on the left the submission file that it went to the warehouse in. So if I was to select this line here on the 26th of August, this user sent all of these items to the warehouse. As it says on the right hand side here, there's a facility to extract single orders from the file and generate a new file. If you do this, be extremely careful. Resubmission of this could duplicate the order at the warehouse end because it will give it a brand new unique file name. So the unique file name is vital to guarantee that the warehouse don't process the same file twice. At this point of the submission, the warehouse will be dealing with the picking and the dispatch process of the goods, and they will be sending them out. If you do not have a warehouse that's linked through an API or EDI, then this part of the process in the warehouse submissions would not be required. For example, if you were dispatching from your office, you would simply allocate the goods in the sales allocation, and then you can go to the sales documents, and if you wanted a delivery note for those items, you can simply go to the delivery note into the warehouse group saying the office stock. It will then give you a list of all the orders where you can simply select the ones that you wish to print, and the system will give you delivery notes.